Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. Today we are parked at a very cloudy Singapore, as you can see, with a beautiful Boeing 787 here. As we soar through the skies today on this Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, we'll be treated to some of the most breathtaking views the world has to offer. Our journey today will take us across the vast expanse of Asia, from the modern metropolis of Singapore to the historic city of Karachi in Pakistan. Along the way, we're going to be flying over to some of the most scenic and culturally rich regions of this continent. As we depart from Singapore Changi today, we'll climb high into the sky and gaze down upon the stunning city landscape. The bright lights of the city will hopefully twinkle like stars in this stormy weather, creating a magical and awe-inspiring sight. As we're going to be leaving Singapore behind, we're going to be soaring over the South China Sea, admiring the turquoise waters and the scattered islands below. As we continue our flight, we're going to cross over several other countries, each with its unique landscape and cultures. From Malaysia and Thailand to India, we'll fly over a diverse range of terrain, from soaring mountain ranges and rolling hills to expansive deserts and fertile plains. We might... Okay, will we pass over the Himalayas? No, we won't pass over the Himalayas. Throughout our journey, we'll be accompanied by the smooth and powerful roar of the 787-10 Dreamliner's engines, a true testament to the engineering marvels of modern aviation. With the help of Microsoft Flight Simulator today, we'll be able to experience the true thrill of flying with realistic sounds and stunning visuals that will leave you feeling like you're actually in the cockpit. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we take you on an unforgettable virtual journey from Singapore to Karachi on the incredible Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner in the Singapore Airlines livery. As we can see, Singapore today, quite stormy weather here, so we're going to hop into the flight deck without further ado. So I've only kind of started up the battery. External power has been requested, so we can connect all the external power up there. And yeah, all the lights and stuff are on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to request the boarding, configure the aircraft, and I will meet you once we're ready for pushback. Alright guys, welcome back to the flight deck. I have completed this aircraft, boarding has been completed, the rain has stopped so far, FMC has been configured, overhead panel is looking good, APU is on, all the lights, relevant lights are on. We have requested pushback, and yeah, we're just going to be pushing back now and get this flight underway. So we're going to want to go left.
Release parking brakes.
Alright, so they've asked to release parking brakes. Let's get this pushback underway. Alright, we have also been given the all clear to start the engines. To start the engine, again, we're going to be starting the right engines first. We're going to go up here, switch the starter to start. And just look down here. Watch that N2 build up. The N1 also. Once that hits 1, we can throw in the engine. Sorry, not throw in the engine, throw in the fuel. My bad. Alright, let's set it in the fuel. I almost forgot, need to turn on the beacon lights. There we go. That should be good. Alright, with that being said, engine number 2 seems like it is active. We can now turn on engine number 1. So it's the same logic. Flick the starter. And wait for that to build up. And once it hits 1.0, throw in the fuel. Okay, now they've also set the parking brakes as the pushback has been completed, so we're going to set the parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Let's just give them that confirmation, get that out of the way.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, while waiting for the engines to spool up, we can also throw in our flaps. So flaps, we're going to be going for flaps 10.
Unlocking gear.
Alright, flaps have been set as well. Engine number 1 is also available to us. So we're going to go up here and ensure that the bleeds are on, which they seem to be. Yeah, the aircraft is on its own engine power, so we can turn off the EPU.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Alright, we're just gonna
Left is clear, right is clear.
Alright, with that being said, we can turn on the turn off lights and the taxi lights. Thankfully, the weather has cleared up, but it's still quite cloudy here in Singapore. So, yeah, as you can see, guys, the 787-10 completely glass cockpit. This aircraft is the definition of flying a modern spaceship. It just looks beautiful. I cannot wait to get this flight underway. So, with that being said, let's get this taxi started.
Welcome aboard Singapore Airlines. As the safety equipment on this aircraft may differ from that on other aircraft, please give us your attention as we bring you through this important safety briefing and on a journey through Singapore. During takeoff and landing, ensure that your tray table is stowed away. Put the back of your seat upright and keep your shoes on. Before we take off, stow your luggage under the seat in front of you or in the overhead compartments. Make sure that your seat belt is securely fastened.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the whole short line here of runway 02 left. As you can see on this airport, in front of us is the Singapore Airlines maintenance hangar. You can see a few aircraft parked over there. And on our left, if you could see out the left window, that is the Scoot terminal. Those 787s just parked over there. But alas, we are ready for takeoff here at 02 left, so we're going to be turning on everything. Basically light up our aircraft like a piñata. And the weather seems to be clearing up a bit, but alas, still quite a foggy morning here. Afternoon, actually, quite a foggy afternoon here in Singapore. Let's line up and take off for a rolling takeoff on the runway. Everything seems set, flaps are good. Set auto brake to RTO, which is rejected takeoff. V2 speed should kick in as we rotate. Cruising altitude is set. Heading bug, well, you know, you can never be too sure, so let's set that to 020, just to have a redundancy there. Okay, that should be good to go. Everything else looking good, looking good. Let's just line up and take off with a rolling takeoff here at Singapore Changi International. On to Karachi we go. It's gonna be a roughly 5-hour flight. The Zulu time right now is 21:45. Is that? No, I think that's the time it's been since I started up the aircraft. Yeah, elapsed time 20 minutes there. Current UTC time, which is Zulu time, is 7:27 AM Zulu. So yeah, let's line up and take off. There's quite a slow lineup here because I didn't put in that much power. Hopefully we can line up properly for a good takeoff here out of Changi. The 787-10, again, beautiful aircraft to fly. The roar of those mighty engines as we take off, those Rolls-Royce engines, is going to be amazing. Okay, I think that's a fairly good lineup there. Let's bring up the throttles. Okay, lined up properly. Airspeed is alive. Engines have been stabilized. And let's go to Toga. Just gently easing it in on the power. We don't want to thrust ourselves forward that much. Airspeed's coming 80 knots. And that should be good enough for the throttles. 120, there we go. V1, rotate. Just gently easing back on the stick. Don't want to have a tail strike, just allow it to climb into the air before we add more vertical speed there. Okay, beautiful. As we climb out, positive rate of climb, gear can go up. Auto throttle can kick in. Gonna gonna set that to 210 knots as we take off. Beautiful, beautiful takeoff there. As we gotta keep it straight. 4,000 feet per minute right now climb speed. Let's ease that down back to the flight directors. There we go. Hand flying it still. There you go. Autopilot should activate now with the auto throttle. And vertical speed is on as well. Let's set that to 2,000 feet per minute. And we can turn on LNAV. The aircraft is now on autopilot. Speed is looking good. We could increase speed to 220 knots. And increase flaps. Yeah, the aircraft's gonna stabilize itself there. Flaps, 1 notch of flaps coming up. Flaps of 5. Flaps could go up again as we increase speed to 240 knots. Once we 240 knots, the aircraft is gonna reduce its vertical speed to allow us to hit that faster. Let's just see, 230. That should be clear. We can bring flaps all the way up. Beautiful departure here out of Changi. Unfortunately, with all the cloud cover, you can't see much, and we've come out towards the ocean, so there is no there is no city to admire out of Changi International this time. But again, beautiful weather here, beautiful clouds and everything. Vertical speed is set. Everything else looks good. Yeah, we're currently 4,400 feet, 240 knots, about to hit our first waypoint. Let's see, do we circle back? I mean, we kind of do circle back eventually. Maybe you guys can catch it in the time lapse. But yeah, for now, that's all from me. And I'm gonna catch you guys at the top of descent. Enjoy the time lapse. afternoon from the flight deck here of this Boeing 787-10. We are roughly 171 nautical miles, well not roughly, exactly 171 nautical miles from Jinnah International. We will be starting our descent shortly, so fasten your seatbelts, get your popcorn and stuff ready as we continue our time lapse into the descent. Before we start the descent though, I will make sure I go up here, give a good old chime in the cabin, double check everything up there, all looks good down here. Yep, so let's start our descent now. So we're going to be aiming for that CF25 left. This descent into Karachi is very straightforward, just 2,000 feet, and just adjust the vertical speed to make that not any restrictions according to the flight plan there. We can double check the FMC if you guys want to see that as well. If you hover the legs page, as you can see, we have a restriction flight level 360, 310 knots, which I think will meet that. And then if we just click on over, yeah, as you can see, direct straight to 2000 at CF25 left. So that's the waypoint we're aiming for. That's where I'm going to be descending towards. And yep, back to the time lapse we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good evening again. Welcome back to the flight deck of the 787-10 for Singapore Airlines. We are right now around 20 nautical miles from Karachi International, Jinnah International, sorry. We are coming in direct for the ILS. Our descent profile is looking beautiful. We're going to start slowing down once we cross this Mackley waypoint. Set up the aircraft, auto brake could go on. I turn on the lights on and everything as soon as we cross 10,000 feet, so we're good on that. Over than that, looks set. ILS frequencies have been tuned in, I believe. Yeah, we're looking good on the glide slope, vertical speed. Quite a cloudy approach here into Karachi, as usual, quite smoggy, but beautiful, beautiful scenery here on our off our left and right. Sorry, let me get that right. Yeah, beautiful. And this beautiful 787 Dreamliner. Look at that. This is just an absolute beauty as we're coming in. All right, I'm gonna start slowing the aircraft now. So we're just gonna slow it down one shot. Why not, you know? So we're gonna be at 150 knots for our approach here. I'm just going to start decelling. 150 knots. Okay, speed brake should be on, parking brakes off as usual. Alright, we can throw in one notch of flaps. Alright, I'm gonna just throw in some speed brake as well. Just to quick, speed up that descent profile. Throw in flaps 5 and then flaps 10, 15, just slowing down, 17, 18, 20, and all the way to flaps 30, and bring the speed brake back up to the armed position. Alright, beautiful. Okay, awesome. We've slowed down 150 knots. We're about to reach 2,000 feet, which is our, a restriction there. 10 nautical miles from Karachi. We can bring the gear down. And with that being said, our gear has extended fully. Let's turn on the localizer. Hopefully we can capture that, maybe, if we're lucky. And I'll switch this to approach. Localizer is not being captured. I don't know for some reason why it doesn't work. But I'm just gonna start doing this manually. Take the V speed and just aim for 0 feet with the runway there. Set that. I'm gonna slow down just a bit more to 146 knots. We should be capturing the ILS. I have no idea why it's not doing that. It's okay, we're gonna make it work. We're just gonna fly down like this until hopefully we can get a visual. And I can disconnect the autopilot. Still waiting on a visual. Again, very foggy here in Karachi. We're crossing 1,500 feet now. Going to slow the descent. Aircraft's lining up itself. Hopefully we are 5 nautical miles away from the runway threshold right now. Again, just slowing the descent there. We want to keep descending, but we want to descend too fast. Maybe I can see it on the HUD. Nope, HUD is useless. Very, very foggy. Usually the ILS should be working, but for some reason, as you can see, it's still white. It's not activating for some reason. And again, I haven't worked out if it's the bug or what. But we're about to reach minimums. Gear is down. Everything's looking good. Beautiful, beautiful approach here nonetheless. Very foggy approach in the evening. Nighttime would have been more useful because the runway would be lighting up. And I think I faintly just saw the runway for a second there. We're gonna keep descending. Again, trying to... Oh, I see the runway. I have visual on the runway, but not enough to fly it, hand fly it yet. But enough to be confident that yes, the runway is there. Yeah, we have a visual with the runway there. Still on autopilot. I'm gonna take over just shortly, allowing it to come into view right there. That is the runway. Okay. Oops, wrong button. And I have manual control of the aircraft now. Put that there. Alright. The aircraft is now mine. Let's do this. We have some winds. I think I'm coming in a bit too high. So let's descend. Alright, stabilize over there. Yeah, we see the runway. I have eyes on the runway threshold. Let's line up properly there. Alright. Wings level a bit too high according to the pappies. It's okay, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make this work. Again, low visibility approach here. Alright. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, we're on glide slope now. Let's maintain this. Let's just do a quick line up. Disconnect the auto throttles. And over the runway threshold. I'm gonna cut throttles.
50, 40, 30,
Bit of a float.
20,
Still coming down.
10.
Beautiful landing there. Absolute butter landing, I must say. Reversers engaged. And we're slowing down. Successfully touchdown here at Karachi. Let's see. 60 knots. Reversers can go in. Alright. Beautiful. And we're going to be manual braking here. Just gonna take control of manual brake all the way. We're still doing 24 knots as we turn this high-speed exit. Beautiful landing. That truly felt like butter, guys. I think that's been a good landing in a while. Truly felt like butter. Awesome, awesome landing. And well, as we can see here, we have actually Singapore Airlines cargo aircraft parked here, and a PIE aircraft just chilling. What are the coincidences? Alright, let's come to a complete stop and set the parking brake. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to allow you to enjoy that beautiful butter landing from a few different perspectives while I clean up the aircraft and we begin our taxi back to the gate. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft has been cleaned up, flaps are coming up, spoilers are up, all the landing lights are off, strobe lights are off, and yeah, we can begin our taxi to the gate now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the gate here in Karachi. Gate number 23 has been assigned to us. The APU is on, the APU gens have been connected. With that being said, I think we're ready for engine turn off. So with that, just turn off the beacons and simply cut the fuel. Alright, with the engines being off, we have successfully and the jet being connected, we have successfully completed another beautiful flight for this channel. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment for any feedback for the future. Thank you for flying with me today, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.